This is the tale of an ice cream cone that defied all odds and, more importantly, defied physics. Our story begins on a blistering hot summer day in a small town where kids ran rampant through the streets with sticky fingers and insatiable appetites for mischief and also ice cream. One such child was our protagonist, a boy who seemed to be allergic to rules and possessed an uncanny ability to attract trouble faster than a moth to a flame. His name was Billie Eilish. Yes, really. And he was notorious in the town for his elaborate schemes that usually ended with him getting whacked upside the head with a ruler by his third-grade teacher, Mrs. Betty Crocker. But today was no ordinary day. Today was the annual Summer Sizzle, a town-wide celebration of the sun, heat and all things popsicle. The whole town turned out for the festivities, including the local clown, Bobo the Bear, who was famous for his balloon animals and uncanny ability to stare directly at the sun without shielding his eyes. And then there was Benny's mom, the owner of the town's only ice cream parlor named Scoops. She was famous for her recipe of the same name, which came in 31 flavors, each one more delectable than the last. It was so popular that people would travel for miles around just to get a taste of it. That is why when Benny asked his mom if they could go to the Summer Sizzle, she agreed instantly, thinking it was a great chance to advertise her delicious frozen concoctions. So off they went to the hottest, most crowded place in town. As soon as they arrived, Billie's eyes popped wide with wonder. There were games and prizes, food stalls and rides, but most importantly, an ice cream eating contest with a prize for the biggest eater. Now, Billie had never backed down from a challenge, especially not one that involved food and or winning a prize. He entered the competition with the enthusiasm of a kid who hadn't bathed in weeks, much to the chagrin of his mother, who was worried he wouldn't be able to handle the heat. After purchasing a ticket for her son, Billie's mom watched nervously as he disappeared into the crowd. She tried to warn him that maybe this wasn't the best idea, but before she could say anything, the whistle blew and the kids took off like a pack of sugar-fueled hyenas. Then Billie's mom noticed something strange. He hadn't grabbed an ice cream cone. In fact, he had grabbed a snow cone and was already halfway through it. Was he serious? This wasn't gonna end well. Meanwhile, Billie was having the time of his life. He expertly maneuvered through the crowd, dodging obstacles with the grace of a drunken giraffe and the speed of a caffeinated ferret, and yet somehow he managed to eat his entire snow cone without dropping a single drop. To his surprise, he won the first round, earning himself a golden ticket that read free ice cream for life. Not bad, Benny thought, but he knew the real challenge was still to come. Just then, another whistle blew and the next round began. This time the competitors had to finish an entire sundae without using their hands. Easy peasy, thought Billie, but as he got closer to the dish, he realized it wasn't going to be as easy as he thought. It was covered in whipped cream and cherries, which meant the only way to get to the ice cream was to dig in with his face. Undeterred, he dove right in and started lapping up the ice cream like a dog who hadn't bathed in weeks. But as he did, something strange happened. The ice cream wouldn't melt in his mouth. It just sat there, cold and unyielding. At first he thought it was a trick, but when he tried to spit it out, it didn't come out either. He tried to swallow, but that didn't work either. Then he panicked. What if he choked? What if he died? Just then, the timer sounded and the other kids started to emerge from their dishes, some with ice cream smeared all over their faces, others with empty spoons. But Billie was still stuck, literally. Then, to his horror, he realized what was happening. The ice cream wasn't melting because he was so hot, it was freezing in his mouth. Sure enough, when he stuck his tongue out, he saw a miniature icicle hanging from his lower lip. It grew longer and longer until finally it broke off and landed on his shirt. He pulled it off and examined it closely. It was hard, cold, and looked exactly like a mini ice cream cone. Could it be? Had he just created the world's tiniest popsicle? Before he could investigate further, though, he heard a voice behind him. Well, looks like we have a winner. He turned around to see the biggest, meanest kid in school, a bully who seemed to derive pleasure from making others cry. The bully snatched the mini ice cream cone from Benny's hand and took a bite. Ha, ha, looks like you're out of the competition now, huh? But as soon as he swallowed, his face turned pale, and he started to shake violently. What? Why? Billy asked. Because, the bully stammered, I can't seem to swallow it. It's stuck. Billy's eyes widened in realization. Oh, no, you've turned into a popsicle. The bully panicked. Help! Help! Someone! Anyone! But nobody came. Everyone just stood by watching with amusement as the bully struggled to free himself from his icy fate. Then something unexpected happened. A hush fell over the crowd as the sky darkened and a single raindrop fell from the heavens. Then another and another until soon the ground was soaked and the bully was free. But he wasn't the same. The rain had washed away his arrogance, leaving in its wake a humble, contrite young man who apologized profusely to Billy and vowed never to bully him again. And as if to prove his point, he picked up Billy's discarded mini ice cream cone and ate it with such reverence it would have made a monk blush. From that day forward, the two became friends, united by their love of ice cream and their shared trauma of being stuck in a popsicle. As for Billy's mom, she was so proud of her son for winning the contest that she gave him a lifetime supply of free ice cream. But she also learned an important lesson that day. Never underestimate the power of a good popsicle. It can melt your heart, freeze your bully, and make your kids choke.